Right. This is an experiment. And this is an experiment that a Māori elder came to visit Raymond and I last year on 2 occasions. Listened to the music of the plants and said, oh, kawa kawa, the healing is there. But he said, what I'd like to see you do is see if you can record water in the same way. And I looked at him and I thought, no, I don't want to go there. I'm recording plants. But that little request sat with me for a long time. I have experimented once only. This is my second experiment with water, and we'll see what happens. If water can sing, we can hear the stream chuckling away in the background. Now we're going to see if music can be produced from inside the water itself, the energy of the water. This may not work.
On this Christmas Eve,
Oh, no. It just makes me wonder, listening to this, because every plant that I connect to, every tree that I connect to, has water flowing within continuously. Even the pouanamu, the greenstone that I have recorded, microscopically within the structure there is water. And when I actually put the contacts on myself yesterday to experiment on self, I have water, I'm 80% water. So I look upon the resonance, the power, the magnificence of water connecting everything and everybody together. Wow. And we know experiments at a German university have shown that water has a memory. It really does. So as we listen to the spring water here, which is just 50 meters further upstream, it emerges from in the ground at the base of the Ongatete mountain. And so what song and what story is this water bringing with it from within the mother? And this water, with its beautiful song, will pick up other energies as it flows over the stones, flows through the organic matter. All the organic matter which is dropped down from the trees is medicinal. So this water is becoming more medicinal as it goes with the elements it picks up and with the rongorongo, or the medicine from the trees. And now this incredible energy manifesting in this amazing song. Oh, dare I go further with this? What are people going to say? But I can only do this and put these things forward as my way of sharing my experimentation. And I hope other people will emulate this, what I do, and record music of the plants, record music of the stones, their favorite crystals, whatever. And believe it or not, with the right contacts, you can record your own personal song. Wow, what does that tell you? So, just enjoy, just listen.
Got a little Soulspeak tonight. You know, one of the purposes of Soulogy is to bring out into the open all the things we are sharing. In this apocalypse, everything's more intense, even if we don't know what's happening to us all the time. We sure can feel it. But there's a lot of things that we could share. You know, things that we're afraid to share or even embarrassed to discuss. Yet this is the universal paradox. It's how the universe teaches. Soul sense found behind fears. Our highest leaps of light just past the frail walls of a harmless darkness. Possibilities, probabilities, realities. More frequencies and vibrations if we're brave enough to use them. And they all lead to the same place. It's called the Soul Highway. Pyramids, pineal gland, ET lineage. Memories of abductions, angel visits, ascended masters. And who are these powers behind the governments that have begun to fall? Doesn't really matter. What's important is me and you. Perhaps the best thing we could share are the personal challenges, the emotional eruptions, mental and physical shifts come with and to a seeking mind in the golden age we live in. You see, our victories are far more than we know. When we cross the heart to a higher ground, by yielding to the possible impossibilities. And what we find in this shared space contained within ourselves, linked somehow by the same healing power. It's called the gnosis of soul. We have given the world our differences, and the story has never changed. It's time to shine. Ascension is about honoring our sacred space, and when we do, all merges into one. And no longer do we have to point to what's different. No longer do we have to label each other with lies to make ourselves look good, to make ourselves look better in the egoic mind. It's time to shine, beginning with our innermost circles of life. From the innermost circle of what is life, the I am soul. So let your soul shine. Live your truth, not what the world tells you is the truth. The soul leads and the ego can only follow.
This evolution. We came here knowing the potential. And Metatron said in the Keys of Enoch, you know, we are the peoples of the earth. We are the light peoples that came to help reset Earth in the universe of the heavens as we inhabit our multidimensionality. And what I know from wisdom, what I know from what I carry is nobody can pull us out of our soul's destiny. Nobody. And evolution isn't evolution if you haven't walked through and into the gates. It's like the Lion's Gate. You know, there's the lions of yesterday and there's the lions of tomorrow. And, you know, every year at Lion's Gate, which is one of my favorite gatherings that I have, is that some people look at it as a symbology, and other people look at it as true initiation. And even though everybody might seemingly walk through the gate, those that will benefit the most from walking through the gate are the ones that are experienced, especially now, between now and 2024, which is the actual 888. And the Syrians Alliance, they have all said to me, after 2024 Lionsgate, all the Lionsgates are going to be very different after that. And they didn't give me any more intel.
What does that mean? Is that going to be the new
more intel? But I have an idea of what it means. But back to what we were talking about, and that is, do I sense we are going to continue to have massive waves of light? Absolutely. It's not going to slow down. Our ascension has accelerated even in the last 3 weeks.
I know.
I mean, it's just amazing how much it's accelerated. So each of those massive solar event waves is an event of its own. And even our own revelations, our own personal revelations, those are events that move us forward, that push the soul forward, that give some peace and quietude to the cells in our body, to our heart. And this is our experience to have, not for somebody to pull us out of. This is my belief. And it's not a belief, it's my sense.
Right.
It's nothing I'm going to post and give a date, and this is going to happen on that date. And, all love to all who are moved to do that. And I feel strongly that it's a distraction. And the event is in the moments that we're in the presence that we're in, because there's a lot happening in presence. There really is.
Absolutely.
And what will be is what will be, but there's a wonderful feeling about it. There's a wonderful knowing, just because of our abilities to feel the internal shifts, the internal accelerations, the internal awareness of, wow, last week I would have looked at that completely differently. Yeah. But now I look at it this way. How did I get here? The momentum of the light. Yeah. And the commitment to love, the commitment to consciousness, to not leaving here without the most amount of consciousness we can possibly have. So when these light accelerations happen, like solstice was just a blast. I mean, just like, I almost felt like I was being electrocuted during the gathering, and I was holding up the space because there was so much light pouring in, and my hands were just, and arms were just dripping with sweat. And then the day after, I went into such a deep dive, and a lot of people told me that they did too. And I was asking, what is that about? And they were saying that as the frequency and the light activations come and they lift us, it also dislodges everything left in us that has not been neutralized, resolved. And so it'll feel so painful, and it does, when that that amount of light comes in, and then the next day you've gone down the rabbit hole wondering what the heck just happened here. Right? Yeah. And so I think many of us can see the unfolding of this. Yeah. And we're not where we were before, like in 2012, when people were expecting a really big shift, like the really big shift. And it didn't happen that way. It became very, very slow. There were other things that needed resolving, not just here, but in other dimensions and out there in the cosmos. And the beauty now is we can see our headway. We can feel our headway. We can just go inside of ourselves and have that experience. So just to close that up, no, there is not a part of me that believes that somebody's going to take us off somewhere and say, okay, do you want to go here? Do you want to go here? Or do you want to go here? Yeah. And maybe that will be true. I don't know, but this is just my sense. Yeah. Of things.
I never seen you roll like that.
Well, you haven't seen me talk like this necessarily.
I haven't been to one of your, one of your gateway things. I should check it out sometime. Moving fast, ascending, cosmic clouds receding, impact A man-made futile attempts to better and control gods and goddesses. We have beat the odds, the pain and sorrow. Illusion was a teacher to create the lesson of tomorrow. Yeah, we got this thing, ain't nothing but a thing. A universal kiss, sands of drama, desperation, doubt and death. All the same thing, grab a hold, brass ring, fierce sting, but don't sting no more, can you feel it? It's a happening thing. Silent angel, E.T. singing what you're bringing, got my spirit soul walking boots on now. I'm scooting evolution, evoluting, creation is creating, loss of lies, bringing down the thunder, last fear laid asunder. Sky's black, Blu-ray, azul, fool can be a fool. Ego was the tool, soul sweating, nothing, waking up, freestyling, smiling, unifying, rectifying. It's more than trying, knowing, beholding, golden, throwing double down, deuces, sixes, tripping off the old world fixes, addictions, benedictions, derelictions, inflictions, prescriptions, infections, neglections. But now I'm manifesting, coalescing, synthesizing human hybrid, spirit, sign, soul, super.
It's the unity of you. I can say yang gotea, agatea, kia
Shanata he, Isanata, Mosana, Ishanata he, Ishanata, Isana, Emota he, Akanata he, Osana, Osanata he, yeah, yes you are, yes you are, yes you are. Nasanita. Mush, mush.
And I think that it will show itself.
Yeah.
Without question, it will show itself. And I think that we are getting more and more of that now, where people are saying, you know what, I'm done.
Yeah.
I've gone that way. It's not worked. They're realizing that this thing doesn't protect them, that people are dying. We've got children dying now from having this, babies dying.
Yeah, that's...
Got pregnant women losing their babies because they've had this. It's coming out, and it's coming out. There's doctors coming out in Australia, like the US, that are saying, we're seeing this, it's wrong, they shouldn't be given this, we're seeing it, and we can't live with this anymore, we can't do this anymore. We're not going to be blackmailed into doing this protocol, which we know isn't making, in fact, is harming people. End of.
That's right.
So it's coming out right across the board. So I don't think they're going to be able to try that again. I think there's going to have to be something very different, because they didn't quite make it this time, and they certainly won't this time.
Yeah. 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 I mean, some of the people that I've talked to, and I've mentioned...
Yo, nah, man, to the crib, man. What up, what up? Following you. Yeah, you following? Come on, man.
Ain't nothing but a law, El Bro, you know how we do. Kiss that posse shit. Big up to the posse. Yeah, dripping that thing from the rip. I'm stopping and flicking my wrist. Checking the time, I went through the movie and doing so groovy. It's covered in beauty. The sauce is so gooey, so gooey. Red sky, the diamonds circling the ruby. Most pedals up in the jacuzzi. You wanna come and get it with me? Yeah, you look baby, red key. It feels so good when we chillin'. A part of you saying, save me. I got you, I love you. I'm on the Michael Archangel of peace. We're working and shining the light. Truth and nurturing queens on my beats. Yeah. It really ain't. You know what I'm saying? At least as far as I can see, we doing it. Check 'em. Sing you a lullaby rain. Sing you a lullaby sleep. And when you wake, girl, I'm with breakfast. My pancakes will have your butt breathless. My daddy was always a quarterback. Then he got off into chefing. Girl, I'm like a secret weapon. Love who don't need no protection. Yeah, created, baby, I'm embodied. I'm loving the human experience. Mama, I'm shaking my body at parties. Been on a flex all day. Yeah, she say you riding with the king, so amazing. It is amazing. Not at all. Yeah. As far as I can see.
Do not pay any mind to those annoyed, those who choose to employ negativity at the sight of your joy. Break through the guilt and shame that was the poster child of yesterday. You've come as the dawn of a new way, here to present the instructions as you unfold beyond the suppressive overlay. Let not the limitations of past generations stop you from showing up in grace. In your truth there is no other way than to unlock that with which you came.
So this is a really great question by Queen, who's asking, how do we start doing the inner work? Where do we start from, right? So what I say to all of my clients is a really great place to start is working on your triggers. That is the best place to start, because often when we realize that something's not right and we want to do the inner work, our cup is usually full and we're easily triggered by people, things and situations. So what you do when you get triggered, instead of what you usually do, which is often getting angry or being defensive or reacting, is you realize that it's time to look within. So step one is looking within and going, okay, why am I so triggered by this person right now? What is it? Is it about the way they spoke to me, their tone? What is it actually about? And what does it remind me of? Does it remind me of the way my dad used to speak to me when I was little? So when you start questioning yourself like this, your intuition will start responding to you. Your soul will guide you to memories and events, and you'll have flashbacks of times where this particular wound was created that the current situation is reminding you of. Everything that is happening all around you right now that is triggering you, and if anyone is triggering you, it's simply a mirror reflecting back to you that you have some unresolved issues or wounds that you need to look at and work on. So if you're someone who can go from calm to crazy just like that by being triggered by someone, there's nothing wrong with you. It just means you've got some suppressed emotions that you need to release and work through. So once you understand what your triggers are about, you can start actively and consciously working through them. So let's say it is anger, right? One really powerful thing that you can do is you can get a piece of paper and a pen and you start writing out the things from the past that you're angry about. There is something really powerful about using a pen and a piece of paper to release suppressed emotions. So what I get my clients to do is I get them to sit down and write a letter to themselves or to the person that they're angry at. And often at the end of it, at the bottom of it all, we're usually angry at ourselves for allowing people to treat us a certain way. So you sit down with your paper and your pen and you start writing a letter to yourself about why you're angry or to the person about why you're angry at them. And you get it all out and you really just allow yourself to freestyle. And even if it doesn't make proper sense what you're writing, let it flow. Even if you rip the paper, what we're doing is we are letting the emotions come out. And in order for them to be released, you have to feel it. So you have to feel it to heal it. And then once you've finished writing your letter, you go outside and you burn it in a safe place. And you decide in that moment that you're setting yourself free from all of these.
If you have been feeling quite unproductive in the last days or frustrated with yourself because you did much less than you wanted to do or you were planning to do, this might be the reason. We have been receiving a lot of very high frequency light influxes. And remember, light is information. It is not understood by the mind, but it is multidimensional information that needs to be processed by the brain and by your whole body. And in order for your brain and body to process this light information, high frequency information, your being and your body and your brain needs space. So often in these situations, when you look back at your day, you will feel like you were extremely busy all day. But then when you do look at how much was actually done, it wasn't much, or it's much less than you would usually do. So this is when we are processing high frequency light information. We need to make space for it. And remember, you are a multidimensional being who has chosen to be here at this time to assist humankind on the journey, in the process of remembering our wholeness and our truth. And on that path, we are always upgrading. We have chosen this. So be kind to yourself when this happens.
Go ahead, drop a jewel.
Check it out.
Life ain't but a dream. We like the dream team. Magic and Bird and Jordan on the salty road. You can't afford it. Blah, blah, blah. What the guan bad man running on with megawatt. Sucker spawn payday. Rubber lions showing all liberated. Balenciaga burning, y'all just barely made it. Speakers high, speaking fly, soapbox. Like Huey with it, Jada kissing with the Botox. On earth, on a mission, undercover with it. Black suit, white bow tie, bro, with the missus. Yeah, bubblicious, grab a cheek, then pick a beat. Hella hard, double entourage. In the mirage, living large, back to the stars, bars.
People disappear, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, let's get down to it. I mean, I had a couple of things I wanted to ask you about just in terms of your personal journey. Let me just kind of preface it like this. Many of the people that are watching right now live that are in this community and communities that overlap with our community at Soulogy have had a similar life experience as you.
Right.
They obviously don't have the public awareness that your work does and your energy does. But many of the people, including myself, had what we might call a wake-up experience, something like you had in 1991 and then further expanded at Machu Picchu. Okay. They received an awakening message or download. From that point in their life, they started following this guidance. They also had the impression and continue to this day that they were not alone, like you said in Renegade. And by virtue of following this guidance, they were ridiculed. They were estranged from their family, very similar to your life path. And yet here we are in 2021 in this Orwellian state, and two things have happened. The distortion has gotten louder and louder, yet the guidance has gotten louder and louder as well. And I think we're all trying to integrate what we're experiencing externally and what we're receiving internally. And this is where we're at today. So I think this is a very special moment. I guess my first question, David, would be, how do we change the external? How do we make this thing happen? How do we raise the frequency of this earth?
Well, as people from what you just said, watching this will know, is that what we call the external is a projection of the internal. Our perceptions become our reality. And, I'm very interested. I didn't know that this is what we were going to talk about, but this is the area that absolutely fascinates me. Not just that, it is the way out. Because we live in a reality that has two worlds in it. One world is that which is populated by the mass of nearly 8 billion people. And that world is systematically limited in terms of the knowledge that it's allowed to have. I mean, you can find it if you go looking for it, but generally people are not aware of that knowledge, which is kept from them. This is what the education system's about. It's what the mainstream media is about. It's what Silicon Valley's about. It's holding people in tram lines of knowledge what I call the postage stamp consensus, a very narrow band of perceived possibility. And then you have this other world, which is made up of a global web of secret societies, semi-secret groups that has knowledge well, across a big range, but in two major areas that it desperately wants to keep from the population. And that's what secret societies are all about. And I'm not talking about, Fred and Bill who go down the Freemasons lodge. I mean, they might do a bit of manipulation in the local community and a bit of business and stuff. But I'm talking about the inner core of this global cult. And this secrecy is blatantly to keep things secret. So what? Okay, so one aspect of it is to keep from us where the world's being taken. So what we are supposed to believe is that world events, even society-changing events, are random and have come out of nowhere. Take this COVID hoax now. But crucial for what we're talking about now, and crucial to the control, is this other area of knowledge they want to keep from us, and that's the nature of reality and the nature of the I. So if you look at human society and the way it's been structured, systematically, you're looking at a limitation on knowledge, and crucially a limitation on the nature of reality and who we are. So, for instance, you can have a choice between believing in a religion, although that's being targeted, not least the Christian religion now, big time, or you can believe that this world is all there is, and you have your 70 years and 10 or whatever, and then you've come out of nowhere and you go back into nowhere, and that's it. But this other whole area of the fact that we are awareness, we are a point of attention within an infinite flow of awareness, and what we call human is just a brief experience without awareness. And in fact, the true I is not what we perceive as the physical world. It's the consciousness that's having the experience of the physical world. So again, if you look at the way it's structured and you look at the way people are encouraged in channels of perception, we are pressured and encouraged to self-identify the true I with the labels of what we're experiencing. So if you say to somebody, hello, nice to meet you, who are you? They'll give you their life story, they'll give you their job, they'll give you their sexuality maybe, they give you their politics, whatever. And all these things are just labels, race, just labels of it for an experience. So, someone may be black, maybe white, maybe, brown, sky blue, bloody pink. But that's just the vehicle for consciousness to experience itself and experience this particular reality. But the idea is to pull you in to self-identity, the I, with the labels. Because once you do that, of course, now you're self-identifying with limitation. Because once you think who you are is what you're experiencing, the world of the five senses, then suddenly everything looks impossible. Changing anything looks impossible. It looks incredibly slow, even if you try, because this is the realm of I can't. It's not possible. And if you note what's been happening in the run-up to where we are now, they have been systematically again subdividing those labels. So you have a man label, you have a woman label, you have a this label or that label, and now, of course, we've got this big, long, ever-growing list of letters where each letter is self-defining what I would call an experience, what they would call the self, in minute detail. And the more that this process goes on, the more people are seeing themselves in in greater and greater myopic perception. So the I am R, as I would call it, goes from I'm all that is, has been, and ever can be, down into the fine detail of sexuality or whatever. And so this has been done on purpose because the world, this other world, knows how reality works. And it knows that if the population realized, and the population realized the nature of the true I, then its game is over. And this is why what we're talking about here is so important.
It's an energy a lot like Vibrational Empowerment Network. It's all about the I Am Soul. We've been doing a lot of talking about this virus and about this politics and this religion and all this other stuff, all these distractions from what the real story is, why we're all here. I think it's about time we have at least 50% of everything that's put before us be about who we are, and what we're a part of. Conscious colored energies hailing from the other side. Alternating currencies, healing frequencies are alive. Pleasing demons lost and found, angels, pains of angels, thorns all crowns. Light workers, white, black, red, yellow, brown. Self-inflicted burden spark, healing freakish tendencies. I finally found my mark, coded neath these dependencies. I sip and swallow just the same, yin-yang vial of consistency. Come on, baby, play the game. Pop the vein, spirit of serenity. Blessed by fear's selling epiphany. Fatal dreams found to lose, earth face and anomalies. Dirt shines, diamond blind, every card's coming, aces, one kind. Journey to a divinity, shedding skin and conditioned sins. Erasing false realities, journey of extremities. Chaos in the harmonies, finite to infinities, postulated possibilities. Freedom is fearless, and it is free.
To release, to be free, seemed like I could be the king if I only did these things. Well, damn, You know the stuff that you want to improve, but you do not do that. That doesn't seem like it's hell. Well, I guess the rise out of hell is a quest. It's something we invest in ourselves to be the person who is not so perplexed, saying that I do not see or I can't be free. No, I know that I can go into that road, but at the same time it takes time to flow. And as these energies do expose those lows, it shows me where I can grow. Okay, I'm painting different parts of my wave to be that greatness that I want to see, that I want to relate to this world. But at the same time, I cannot be anything but who I am, so I just say I will not hold back. But at the same time, I'll be the truth up in these rhymes, and that is so sublime. I see that it doesn't have to be so perfect, just me working, doing my own thing and not lurking, judge another person for their hurt. No, do your own thing and just work on your glow, and know that if you judge them, you judge your own soul. So let it go, let it flow, and build yourself into a dope. You know that you are a person who came to this low, to this world that was so strange, where people were so estranged from themselves, from their souls. They were playing games that other people wrote, like you should be this thing, you should act this way, the American dream or something, some type of theme that they would say that you should play. And if you didn't play, they call you crazy, say you shouldn't be that way. No, now we do release into a new type of flow, and I do love to see so many different types of people in this world. Like I drive around, I'm like, what's up? Yo, I love that you do dress a little different on your quest, up on your mission, or you really gotta get it in the way you feel. And maybe you are just lifting yourself into a type of new perspective to see what's in it, but it's not the thing that you'll be doing forever. Yo, you'll be changing into something that's so clever. You'll be rearranging, you'll be that dude who floats up like a feather. Or maybe you could do it better if you let it go and you just did sever sometimes the parts of yourself that were tethered down up to the ground, like you wanna rise, but it keeps pulling you down, and you say, why? I wanna alchemize, want to release my eyes so I can see what's wise, so I can just apply soul into my goals, into the ways that I flow, in all this gold on my road, and all the stuff that I paint. It's that soul, it's that dope, it's that stuff that expose what will flow. But at the same time, when that energy comes through, sometimes it's so high that people see the stuff that they can purify, and that is not misaligned. Yo, that is so divine for us to see the low, the dip before the rise in our waveform. You gotta go down into what's in the way of your greatest expansion for yourself to see that. Do you understand that this is something that is happening?
Ooh.
I wish to share with you a song of well-being played by Hine, the Kawakawa, and myself. One contact on my wrist, then a touch on the heart-shaped leaf of Hine produced this amazing music. Kawakawa of New Zealand is a very powerful medicinal plant.
Ma chawe samete o chivasi e kamatai. Ma setea achiamate. Me sawe chawatamake e sawe chamate. Matea, matea, chema sawe mate. Hai. Aishta matekia tamatata ya mohaya. E chamatia ya sakata ya matoi. E samatia ya
Hi, dear Soul family. I'm Sandra Akaakura. I'm a starseed from Germany. Thank you very much. I have a short message for you. Please don't quit. Your time has come. I know many of you feel so exhausted and you feel so tired. I know. I feel so tired as well. And yes, I feel these psychic attacks as well. And that's not always sunshine here on earth. I know. Do you know why you never fit in society? Because you are here to create a new world. You are here to found new communities. You are here to find new ways to live together. That's the reason why the collective is still following the old narrative, because they don't have any ideas. They don't know that it does exist other systems, ancient systems. That's why they follow still the old narrative, because this is what they learned. And from a higher perspective, we knew that this will happen on Earth. We knew that. The most of us starseeds are here because of this shift, because of this event. You have to imagine that. We are here because we wanted to help humanity. We wanted to help Earth. We wanted to anchor a lighter consciousness level on Earth. That's our basic mission. That's why you never fit in, because it's not your purpose to fit in. You are here to create a new world, and your time has come. Your time has come to speak up. It is so important that you speak now. It is so important. I received this message from my galactic team over and over and over again. Your time has come. Speak up, unite, found new communities, find new ways to live together, and be an inspiration. Be an inspiration. It's not about what people think about you any longer. It's about to trust your heart and that you anchor your heart energy here on earth, because this is basic. When we want to live in 5D, we have to open our heart.
Hey lovers, Anthony here. So I wanted to do a bit of a vulnerable share because I'm feeling very vulnerable right now. And, you know, I've been thinking about some of the good times I had this year. And, you know, sometimes we think we're not good enough for people and we place them on a pedestal. And we think that they're this amazing, talented, perfect person. And, you know, often they probably are, right? But what we fail to see when we put people on pedestals is their flaws. And often it's in seeing someone's flaws and insecurities and sensitivities that it allows us to soften and to open our eyes, really, and to see them as our equal. And so what we can tend to do is deny ourselves an opportunity because we think we're not good enough for someone. And so we hold ourselves back because we fear that that person will reject us or deny us or shut us down. And, you know, it's really important to understand that it is not our job to decide if we are not good enough for someone, right? Because often what you can give to that person is going to be more than enough for them. Your love, your affection, your time, your generosity, your sweetness, they've never experienced that before. So let them decide. Because I can tell you right now that love, that unique and rare love that you have inside of you to give to another person can completely transform someone's life, can be exactly what they've been waiting for and looking for their whole entire life. And so do not judge yourself based on what you think is enough. You just show up in your best as your best self, and don't hold yourself back from an opportunity that could make you so happy and so fulfilled. And this could be the relationship of a lifetime. And the only thing standing in your way is you.
Good morning. This morning I'm going to speak to you about truth and living one's truth. Because with all these energies now being released, we are being brought back to the deepest truth within. Not only living our truth, but also speaking our truth and standing in our truth, which is what a true master does. You know, we have in past lives so often been persecuted for standing in our truth and also for speaking our truth. And all these things are coming up now as a white flame has been released, but also as the throat chakra is being highlighted. And in the Archangel Michael is in charge of the throat chakra. And what is more important now is that a lot of times we have to understand that the throat chakra is now connected to the heart and the higher heart and also the higher throat, which works with the altar major, which is a chakra which is just here behind in the cranium area of your neck. Now these all work together as one power center with the third eye and crown, but also with your solar plexus and the navel chakra, which sits just right underneath your belly button. The center is all awakened now with your sacral center and the upper chakras, which are outside your head. But with this, as the communication centers open, as the transmitting centers open, which are the higher transmitters which come through, and your spine, this is all activating the throat in a higher degree, the higher throat center. There is such an amazing time now where we are asked to go deeply into what truth really is and what our truth is, not what other people's truth is, not what anybody else is broadcasting, even me, but to go deeply in your heart and say, is this the path of truth for me? Am I living in my truth? Am I speaking my truth? Am I transmitting the truth? Now, this is something which often comes up. And this morning, this came up with me in a greater degree. I have been invited to something, and I have been there in the past. But in the meantime, in these last few years, I've shifted immensely. I'm not the same person I was a few years ago. And as this call is persistent for me to react, and my true gut feeling was always saying, no, I have transcended this. It's not my path anymore, because I'm on a different path now. Yet all paths in the end come to one path. But at this moment in my journey, that is not my path anymore. But as it happens, you will always have this tinge of, am I doing the right thing? Am I saying the right thing? Am I being correct in this? The only way to discern that is to go deeply into your heart center and feel into your heart center. Your heart center is there connected to the solar plexus. And that's your gut feeling. With the navel chakra, your gut feeling, is this right or not? In your heart of hearts, you will always know the truth, and you will recognize the truth. And sometimes if I'm still not quite sure if that is the truth, then I will call in my higher guidance and I'll say, just give me a sign, or just give me clarity about it. And it immediately came and said, but listen to your heart, listen to your gut feeling, listen to what is there within you, and then state that truth. And it really brought me back to the living of the truth. As we now, as the timelines now have split, and as we now in a completely different timeline, because this has happened now in the last few weeks, we're just not the same person as we were before. We're living now in a higher vibrational frequency. So what we were even 2 years ago is not applicable to what is now. Many people will leave our lives simply because we are out of tune with them. We're not in tune with them anymore. There's nothing wrong with it. It just means that they are following their own inner drum and you are following your own inner drum. Souls never get lost along the way. They just choose different pathways. Some will choose to go into the new earth, and some will just choose to sort of meander along, and eventually they'll get there. It doesn't matter. But if you feel in your deepest feeling, this is not for me anymore. I cannot be that which I was even 2 years ago. I have shifted so much. Then speak it. Live it, be it. Because then, when you are living in your truth, you are speaking your truth. You are authentic, you are real. And people will always respect you for that. They might differ from you. They might sort of not like it if you stand in your truth. But one thing they will do is respect you in the end. Because they know that you walk in your path. with truth and in truth and with integrity. The white flame is a flame of truth. It is the flame of purity, but it's also the flame of joy, and it's the flame of the pure power of love. Because love does see clearly, yet chooses to love anyway. That's my message for you today. And as much as the beauty of this whole thing brings in, it means that we finally take our power back. We take the power of our own truth back. We take the power of our own soul back to live our highest truth as a master on earth. And that is what Archangel Michael is trying to get across to us. Live your truth. Speak your truth. Be the truth of your soul. It's nobody else's business what you do. It is what you do within yourself and how you live your life and what you bring out into the world that matters the most.
Can you hear it? Supergalactic Fragilucious. Test, test. Test, test, test. Got it? Ryan Aguilar, the beast on the guitar. That's his new name. Remember, the road will still be golden, even when your highest faith in something outside yourself is shattered to pieces. The road will still be golden if your prophet's words prove altered with lies applied to serve the selfishness of our minds. The road will still be golden if aliens descend from the skies and we discover that we are born of their light through their seeds. Will still be golden if and when the nukes begin to fly and electricity becomes a dying dream and a renewed quest for living arrives. The road will still be golden when science and the stars collide with Jesus and the Anunnaki as Nibiru meets the third eye. Certain of nothing but our own divinity. Our place is here and now. We are golden and we are soul, but much more than that. That's where it's at. Breaking through that multi-dimensionality, divinity, infinity. Holy Triad, the Trinity. We're bringing it down now. This is our time. Time to rise. It's a benediction, coronation, divine demonstration, human soul hybrid. That's right, the whole universe is on the edge of their seat. We're expanding this universe from the innerverse, the outer breath of Mother Creation, taking this universe to places it's never been before. That's a real deal. None of this stuff going on in the world stage or even in these family dramas with friends. Nah, it's all about you. Keep living to your truth, because then the universe reciprocates, and with these energies coming down, it can be a bumpy ride or it can be a big soul-gasm. Now bring in that eclipse and that new moon. Time to bring the bass down, lower the boom.
Hey y'all, I'm Kate the Artist. Kate in the Hat today, in my heart studio, the brink of reality, where I use paint, ink, and pencils to bring about new realities. I want to just share with you the value of playfulness. You know, I realize in my own life that each time that I enable myself to add more playfulness into my experiences, I feel better. You know, and when you feel better, you generate more joy. And when you generate more joy, you become a magnet to attracting the things that are joyful. And this is just such a delightful space to be in. So yesterday, on a Sunday afternoon, I took some time just to allow what wanted to flow through my imagination with paint and ink and other constructive tools. I used some wood, wire, and I created an opportunity for butter to fly. I was in my kitchen and I just sat down at the kitchen table, spread everything out, and by the end of the afternoon, I had 3 beautiful new butterflies. And they just really made my heart sing. I loved the value that they brought through the process of just the playfulness. This is Paul. See, she's 2 sticks of butter. She knows that everything is better butter when you start with 2 sticks of butter. Who do you think might have been my inspiration for that? Our beloved, delightful Paula Dean, a cook from the South who's following her heart, doing that which she loves. You know, now, because she does what she does, and she always starts with 2 sticks of butter, I'm able to think cleverly and do something silly and fun that just brought more joy into my experience. You know, just then you can spread the joy, right? Oh, see my puns? Butter, spread it all over it. You might think I'm toasted, but I'm not. I'm just having fun. Having fun is so incredible. And you can do it at your own pace. Look, you know, I'm in a place where I am just doing it at a rapid rate. And you can start out at a snail's pace. Just do something that seems silly and fun, right? Just a little bit of playfulness. Add it in. Find ways that feel good to you to add more joy. Moving out of your head and your brain that is just, it can be so oppressive sometimes, thinking about all the thinks, that all the ways that things could go wrong. And just move into that golden heart. That's where we are. The art that is in your heart. That's the golden ticket to your freedom. I enjoy playfulness, and I'm inviting you to bring in more playfulness. Patty O, pat of butter that flies. First, love yourself. He's sticking with me, and I'm sticking with him too. He wasn't here yesterday, but I took some time to play and bring him into being. So fun. So fun. Playing in the background is my dear friend, Heather Grace Powers. You know, funny synchronicity yesterday. As I was sitting in my kitchen playing with butter, making it fly, because that's what I like to do. I like to play with words. Things are funny. Everything is funny to me. Everything is energy and everything is funny. And in the spirit of everything is funny and everything is energy, I attracted right into my space a post Heather shared with me that she had posted on the exact day yesterday, a year or 2 before. I can't remember in this now moment what year she had posted. I think 2020, 2 years before. And her song was Butterfly. I have it playing here in the background, just as a little synchronicity. I love you. Add some playfulness. See what you attract into your field. let's all fly. Let's all first love ourselves. Play like no one's watching. Remember Cat in the Hat? While the mother is out, all the fun they got into. I'm not suggesting you go destroy the house. I mean, well, making fun can get a little messy, as I've learned in the process. But you can clean it up, and you'll have great things to show for it. Be okay with making it a little mess as you're in the process of making your masterpiece, bringing into being playfully.